Hey, so this is Phil, uh, and what worked on our gravity car, there wasn't really much. The egg chamber was probably the most effective thing that worked on our first design, because the weight fell on it, and it fell out of the car, and the egg was still intact inside it, so that worked well. The structure on our second car also worked out pretty well. The first one didn't, but the structure did because it was much more stable because it was made out of like actual wood instead of some sort of like boards and such. The vinyl wheels that we started using on the second car worked because they were larger and gave more space for the axle to rotate per distance the weight dropped. And then the uprights on the third one we finally got right because, again, we just used wood there, and the wood was able to successfully support the weight well. What didn't really work was the structure in the first one because it was not really built out of structural materials, so it didn't work very well at all. The wheels in pretty much all of them didn't work out. The second and third one, it worked much better, but the first wheels were not very well fragile. They were pretty fragile. The axle that they were on had a ton of friction with the chassis, so that didn't work very well either.
Hey, it's Kevin. So, some other things that didn't work out were the uprights. In fact, it took 3 different designs to finally get successful uprights. The first design was a single wooden rod with pulleys at the top. However, it leaned sharply to the left and caused the car to fall over and inevitably crash. Yay. The second time around, we still hadn't learned our lesson and used a really long aluminum rod. Although it did not lean to the left, it bent and rendered the car completely unstable. So, some things we should have done differently. We should have started with our Mark II/3 designs, where we utilized the vinyl records and legit building material, like wood. We also should have had 2 uprights from the very start, instead of just 1. Also, the design should have incorporated measurements, materials, and surpassed the concept stage, which it didn't. The biggest factor was schedule confliction, where Phil and I were unable to meet up and work on it together. However, we managed to gather up a bit of time before the winter break and test our designs, which should have been done earlier. Whoops. That's all we've got. Well, peace out.